Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. We're back. Now, in this video, we have left off in this review thing. So, let's just go over this. This table actually doesn't show in our review. Preview. Okay. It's preview, not review, by the way. Okay, we have our table. So now we have this pin box, so we can give it, for example, enrollment number 5. We can give it the first name of Ahmed. We can give it the last name of Isho, and we can give it the date which we want just to have, and we can update. But this is not very useful, okay? So why, you might say? Because you don't actually know what the student actually has yet. So in order for you to know that, you can just go to our students and search for the student, but that's not very effective. So we want to have a spin box. We're gonna give it a spin box we're gonna give it a student ID in the spin box for any student that we have or any number that we have, and it's basically gonna show us, first of all, if there is a student with that enrollment number. Second, it's gonna check for that student and get the data of the student and fill in the box here. The box is here with that data in order for us to work with it. Okay. And then I can change whatever I want or just leave it and move on to another number or another student. Okay, so we now need another button besides this spin box named the get button, in order for us to get the student, hence the name. So we need to have another button, so we can just copy and paste this, and let's move this downstairs, yeah. Okay, so first of all, let's just delete this spin box right here and delete this line edit down here. Okay, and let's just copy, let's have this as just line edits. Okay, so let's go to placeholder text. Let's not name this last name, let's name this birth date. I'm doing this because I don't want to complicate things enough for now, because why am I doing this thing? We are gonna use that date edit, but I'm doing this because those functions I have actually forgot about, so I need to remember those, and I don't want to complicate it for me, so I just need to teach you something. We're gonna use those actually in the next videos, but for now I'm just gonna use this. So line edit is all the happiness we need. So placeholder, so this could be student ID or enrollment number. The user doesn't have to know that it's a primary key, or it has to know that it's unique to each student, and you can work with it. So move this using the arrow buttons, and let's name it get. We don't need a label anymore in here because you actually have a placeholder in order for the user to know what the line edit stands for. It stands for himself. That's another joke. Okay, so we have create, update, delete. So now you could imagine, or you could summarize that we have all we need. So let's just do review again. Plastic style. You can have, for example, number 8 and just give it get. It fills in the data, for example, blah 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 blah. Okay, now you just pick whatever you want, choose it and update it, and hit update. We want to do some specific things when it updates. When it updates, I want to have all these forums cleared. I don't want to have anything in here, so I can get something, or I can delete something, or I can create something. Okay, so I need these forums to be cleared, which I'm gonna have another function which we have to call clear fields, because each time we do an operation we have to clear the fields. So I don't want to clear each field each time I do something. You are gonna understand what I mean by that. It's called reusing code, and it's called minimizing and summarizing stuff and using less code and stuff. So I'm gonna teach you that again using the teaching update. So let's just say you have a function of update students, okay, which has some things in here, and you have another function that does create student that has some things. Okay, each function you do something, I want these fields cleared, so you're gonna do first name dot clear, for example, or this is actually in a database or in a class. So self first name cleared, you're gonna have to copy paste last name cleared, and so on and so forth. But you don't want to repeat this all over the place, so you're gonna just do clear fields. Just want to show you what I mean by that, and because this is a class, this is in a class, let's just do self. Let's just do 3 points, because there is a lot of things but this self, so there is some parameters in there. So because this is the function that we are gonna work with, this is the function that we are gonna actually complete. So self first name, self last name, self birth date clear, and we can have self dot student ID or enrollment number, whatever you call it in the designer or the object name, and do clear fields. So each time and anytime you want to clear the fields, you just go to create student, for example, and do self clear fields. That's all you need to do. You need just to copy this and paste it whenever you want, just like this. So now you have a function that you can reuse. That's why we call it reusing code and being smart about code. Exactly. So just do save and let's move on. Let's go back to the designer. So now in our preview on our we're gonna preview this the last time we're gonna preview this, so you can actually move to the code, I guess. Yeah, we finally are there. So we're gonna give it an enrollment number, get it fills in the students data. I'm doing this manually right now just to show you how it's gonna be done. When we update things, we need actually to change something in order for our ES to update. It's gonna update anyway if you click the button, but it just makes sense to change something. So update, you can delete if you actually have a number right here, so you want to get this enrollment number, and just hit delete. You can actually delete without getting the data, so that actually makes more sense. So this button here, we can have the delete right besides this one, or we can just have this a little in its normal size and just get this in here. Oh, astaghfirullah. Okay, now we have the button here, so it makes more sense. You can just resize these ones and just have those. Okay, the width, I want to change the width. This is making us. Okay, now we can resize it. Hopefully it's gonna resize from the side. Let's go. Exactly, some perfection in there. So create and update, and there you go, you have your nice buttons. Let's just move them to their place. Let's save the file. Okay, so now you have this main window that has a tab widget which has 2 tabs, which you can either insert a page after current or before current page, or page 1 of 2, and hit delete in order for you to delete your tab widget. So I'm gonna hit Ctrl Z in order to undo what I've just done, and hit save again to save my file or my main UI file in my directory that I have chosen before. So this main UI, we said that it has tab widget which has 2 tabs, which is, for example, by the way, the layout is layout grid, and the tab widgets itself is layout grid. So where this table is right now, it's a grid layout. Next, in this tab widget, we don't have any layout yet, which we are gonna change just right now. So this is the last thing that I want to do, which is group box is what I'm looking for. So now you know what this widget box actually is for. Group box, let's just say student form. Let's just call it that. Student form. Let's cut everything out from here, and let's have a layout of grid, okay? And let's have paste that in here, and let's have a layout of grid. Before this, we are gonna change this okay, I messed up something. Okay, can't I change that? Can I change the group box width and height? I can't do that. Okay, so let's just paste that in here so we don't lose the data. And let's change the height and width of this thing. So the width, I guess I need more than 455, so this is gonna be 500, I guess. I'm just showing you a trick here. Okay, so yeah, let's leave it at 550, and let's have the weight, the height of this is 51, this is 50, 50, this is 150, this is 200, the space is, we call it 300 with the space, and this you can call it 500. So let's give it 500. Oh, let's just cut that 4, 5. Is that okay? Okay, it's okay. And let's give it okay, I've messed it up. I don't want to change it, so let's just do this. This is actually no, I've been changing the width and the height. That's not what I want to do. Okay. Let's just have this as here, and let's change this to grid layout. I was doing it the right way anyway. So the thing I wanted to do is to have this group box change the height and width. So you can change the height and width from there. Is the actual width and height, but you can choose the minimum and maximum size from here, which I wanted to choose early on. So I can have the maximum size, for example, as 500 in here, and 500 in here, or 450. So, and I can do layout grid inside of the form itself. So I actually have something to work with here. So whenever I resize, you see this group box, it gives you the ability to resize your things. So here I'm gonna have all the heights of these things to 50. So my minimum height, so these things to 50. Okay, the width and the width of these two things is now 85. I need the minimum width of these two to be 111. That's a good. That's perfect. Perfect, like they say in Russia. Is that what they say? Perfect. They say it in a like strong tongue. It's like they speak like they wanna fight or something. Okay, so no offense, by the way. They are always hungry. Why would they take it anyway? So minimum size width is of 150, and the height is 50. So if we save this and we do preview, it's gonna be awesome. So now this is our preview. We can change and our window moves with us. Okay, it has a minimum size, so it doesn't go below that. See, it is amazing. So now it's all actually for this video, like we said. So let's just go over this one more time. We have a main window who has this preview form, or this preview thing that doesn't give us the table and what it has. Okay, this one also doesn't have. Do we have to do this first? Preview plastic style. Okay, now it's showing us the table and the stuff. Okay, this is weird. I have actually never seen that kind of behavior before in this designer, but let's just hope and pray it's not an actual error when we are making our applications. So we're gonna actually make sure. Okay, we are gonna deal with it if there is an error or something like that. So show all students, we have a table. This is just a tab in our tab widget, which is in our main window. I'm gonna go over it again. Repetition is good. Remember, repetition is good. It's key to understanding. Actually, you don't understand, you are just having a pattern in your mind that this is okay and this actually is happening. So if you go and learn how your brain works, or your brain learns stuff, it actually just meets stuff long enough, so it just says, okay, you know what, I'm just gonna have this as a synapse in my head, so I don't have to think about it again, or it doesn't give me a headache next time. So this is me giving you a headache to understand that. Okay, I'm making that up. So first name, last name, birth date, enrollment number is the rows or the columns that we have in each for each student's row. So the next tab widget has a form for us to delete, get our student by enrollment number, or delete it by this number. If we get it, it's gonna fill in the forms like we've said before. First name, last name, birth date. This birth date is actually numbers. Okay, so it's actually a date, something like this. Okay, and you do update, it updates it. If you do create, it creates a new student. So this is all we have for this lecture. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. But first of all, let's just discuss what are we gonna do in the next video. I guess we are gonna just make the database. Let's do what to do here. We're gonna make the DB. We're gonna create creating the database is the right expression, I guess. So we're gonna create the database. Okay, next. So in order for us to create the database, we need to understand the .sql file or what it does. We need to create tables. We need to create some keys, primary and foreign. Okay, so I need to use an engine. Okay, I'm gonna have to make sure. This engine stuff I don't understand really well myself, so I'm not gonna go deeply in that I don't actually go deeply in anything, but create the database so we can have an SQL file just to execute it. We can make sure we are gonna see how, for example, how can we connect to our server from the terminal. Okay, so mysql -u-user, your username -password. Okay. Next thing, we're gonna use the source command to execute a .sql file from the directory, from its path. Let's just say from its path. Okay. Next thing. Okay, next thing you need to understand that each time the .sql file, you actually need to execute it. So this is a thing that I have been facing problems with. So I have been facing problems with this thing. So I have been making changes to my SQL file and I wasn't executing it. I just forgot about it sometimes. Sometimes I assumed that I did it, so I forget about it mostly. Yeah, that's the only problem that you can have with the SQL file, other than the errors that you're gonna have. But yeah, that's most of it, and that's probably all we're gonna learn in the next tutorial. After the next tutorial, we are, for example, gonna connect to the DB from the Python interpreter and then from our app. Inshallah. So assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. This is long enough for a video, and see you later.